Hey everybody, welcome to the Elmira Big Flats area. Today we're going to check out the Arnot Mall. The Arnot Mall opened in 1967 and was expanded in 1980. Today it has over 100 stores and 1 million square feet of retail space. If you watch this channel, you know I've been updating you guys on the progress at the Oakdale Commons, so I figured this would be another interesting Southern Tier mall to check out for you guys, and we'll see if anything inside is new or exciting. I've only been here a couple times over the course of my life, and so I'm not as familiar with it, but I know that it's been struggling recently like all the other malls in America. Wow, that guy needs to get his car to an auto center quick. Anyway, it's been struggling like all the other malls, so I figured it'd be cool to take a look. Give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe down below, and let's go. If you're wondering why the mall was missing from the aerial shots in the introduction, it's because it sits at the end of the runway for the Elmira Corning Regional Airport, which makes it difficult but not impossible to get permission to fly there, so I just skipped it. So I did see somewhere online that they recently installed a pickleball court here. Pickleball is quickly becoming a very popular sport, especially for the older generation. And if I had a guess, I would say this used to be like a regular department store or store that they just converted into that for lack of a better tenant. But what do I know? So anyway, we'll start walking down the wing here with JCPenney, and then we'll go back and do the other wing. And I've also seen, or if I remember correctly, this mall has a very interesting center court with a food court on the second floor, so we'll be able to check that out later. This mall has a very distinct 1980s feel to it, or maybe even early 90s, given the tiling down there. But yeah, it's very classic feeling mall. And wow, just judging from the way we came in, I thought this would be a much longer corridor, but here's JCPenney and a dead end. Wonder what that used to be. If you know what that used to be down there in the corner, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, we'll go back to the middle of the hall and check out the other side next. So we're almost back to the middle, and I just noticed the skylights look like they've definitely seen better days. All crusty and leaky looking. Zoom Fit? Oh, it's like a karate school or something. And of course, you've got Spencer's Gift still in business. I feel like they'll be here till the end of time. So I don't know if this is like a side hallway or the main hallway, because the mall definitely looks bigger than that on the outside. Oh yeah, there's another hallway down there. We'll go down that way in a minute. Passing by the back side of the pickleball court. What is this? Great Escape. So maybe that's like an escape room? That's some kind of board game store right there. You've got your usual mall kid rides. Now what is this? This looks like it... Oh, you know what? I think this used to be a Ruby Tuesdays. I think I remember seeing that on the outside of the mall. Let's see if we can look in. Well, if it was a Ruby Tuesdays, it looks like they tried to board up part of it. We got some kind of children's clothing store over there. Another entrance with some kind of bar. I think it says Maury's. Yep, and I was right. There's a Ruby Tuesdays down there. I know there used to be a Sears in this mall, but I'm not sure if this was it. I think it was on the opposite side of the mall. And yeah, this is a clothing store for kids. But it definitely looks like it used to be some kind of don't know, just judging from the lighting and the flooring, it looks like it might have been some kind of bookstore at some point. Like I said, I'm not as familiar with the Arnot Mall as I am with the Oakdale Mall. But yeah, now we'll go back down the hall and go down the other hallway. Alright, so we're back to the middle of the first hallway we were in, and we're passing a Hershey's ice cream store that apparently went out of business. Who doesn't like Hershey's ice cream? Moss, Photos, and Design. Hard to tell if they're not open or out of business. There was a Lids over there. It's kind of eerily quiet in here. There's no music playing. There's not even that many people talking. Shoe department. They also have a shoe department in the Oakdale Commons that's fairly new. I feel like the shoe department popped up all over the place, like really quick. Although it's kind of funny that those lights look old in the ceiling up there. They look very 90s-ish. Yet the rest of the store is new. Repurposed treasures. Willie's Hall of Fame sports store. There seems to be like an independently owned sports store in every single mall I've ever seen, which tells me that they must be wildly profitable or wildly cheap to run. So I'm guessing the part of the mall we were in before was the original part, and this was the expansion. In fact, I think I remember reading that the food court portion was the expansion. Sharp Edge. Ooh, a knife store. Look at all these knives you can get over here. Huh. I know New York State is pretty strict when it comes to guns and knives, so part of me wonders if those knives were all street legal. I'm not really a gun or knife person, so I don't know. American Eagle Outfitters. We must be getting close to the food court because I smell popcorn. Oh no, the escalator's broken. Let's take the elevator up then, and we'll go check out the food court and maybe have some lunch. Alright, so like I was saying earlier, one unique thing about the Arnot Mall is it actually has a second floor with a food court. Something the Oakdale Commons sorely lacked was a food court, and still does. But yeah, I've always appreciated malls that had more than one floor. I think it overall helps keep things interesting and gives the malls a little more character. This elevator is in terrifying looking condition. The floor is shot, the walls are all scraped up, the doors look like they haven't been cleaned in a while. But at least you get a good view. You know, if you get stuck, you got something to look at for a while. They've got an Arnot glider from the National Soaring Museum collection over there. And yeah, so now we're on the second floor, and here's the food court. They've got the At the Pier Arcade, Super China, Farm Stand Taco Shop, Rico's Pizza, the Waffle Boutique, and a Regal Cinema, which is also something very unique for local malls in the southern tier of New York. Not too many of them have or I should say indoor malls, not too many of them have a cinema attached to them. And it does look like there's 10 theaters altogether. So this is like, gotta be a huge draw for this mall. Definitely a huge draw for the food court section. And yeah, you've got a really decent view of the main atrium here. Oh, Santa Claus is here. I didn't see him initially when I was walking by. He's ho-ho-hoing us from down there. And there's the broken escalator. But yeah, overall, You know, the Arnot Mall, like I've been saying, it's struggling, but it's still got a lot of unique things and a lot of really unique character to it. It's got a very late 80s, early 90s vibe, especially with these food court chairs. I mean, look at that. So clearly it's the holiday season. They've got all their trees up here in the center court. What's that plaque say? Let's see. Arnot Mall is proud to donate the coins from this fountain to the United Way of the Southern Tier. Huh. Just looking around at it, looks like we've got at least, I don't know, $5, $6, $7 worth of coins. Judd's Suds. That looks like a soap store. FYE for your entertainment. The one in our mall, Oakdale Commons, I believe, just announced that they're going out of business. Got a hot tub here. I forget if I mentioned it or not, but after the Oakdale Commons was, Arnot Mall was expanded in the early 1980s, the store count is now up to 100, and there's 1 million square feet of retail here. Kind of feels like a bazaar in this part of the mall. There's so many like little pop-up shops and center court or center hallway retail stands. Another sports memorabilia store. Wireless City, cell phones buy, sell, repair. They repair everything, it looks like. So this looks like it might have been a Bonton, just judging by the framing around the exterior. It kind of reminds me of what the entrance to the Bonton at the Oakdale Commons used to look like. Wow, that's a lot of empty square footage in there. Personally, I think this mall would come back to life if they maybe tore down one of the abandoned Anchor stores and built housing. Might be a good idea. But like, not just like, you know, boring housing, like make it nice looking housing at least. So interesting. I don't know if I can zoom in with this camera. A little bit. Okay, so there you go. If you notice, the Burlington Coat Factory has temporary partitions blocking off a lot of the store. And that same situation happened to the Burlington Coat Factory at the Oakdale Commons before it went out of business. They blocked out or blocked off a lot of the store square footage that they had, as it used to be Bradley's. And the same thing here, I read that this Burlington also used to be a Bradley's. The Burlington Coat Factory at the Oakdale Commons actually moved over to the Town Square Mall in Vestal. So I shouldn't say it went out of business, it just relocated. But yeah, Burlington, same situation here, blocking off a lot of square footage that they're probably not using, or perhaps don't want to rent. Robert M. Slides. Slides? Pianos? Oh, there's a Planet Fitness here. That's interesting. See, now that's the kind of thing that gets people to come to the mall. Things beyond just shopping. You know, fitness, housing. Really, they got to diversify these places if they want to have a chance of sticking around. And it seems like this mall might be starting to do that. Here's a ginormous empty space over here. And boy, this part of the mall feels like it's not doing well at all. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this used to be. Honestly, it looks like it could have been another gym. So yeah, we're walking to the east now. And this east side of the mall appears to not be doing very good at all. Yet, there's still an Auntie Anne's. If there was ever a nuclear apocalypse, you would still be able to dine at Auntie Anne's. And then little stub of a hall over here to exit the building. And we'll come up here and we'll take a look through Sears. And if you want to rent the space, Crushman and Wakefield, I'm sure, and Pyramid are very happy to oblige. But there's a look through the very, very dirty gate of the Sears store. And actually, the inside of the interior doesn't look like it's in too bad a shape. Pyramid, by the way, I believe, is the same company that owns Destiny USA in Syracuse. And if that's the case, it's the same Destiny that's also struggling to pay the mortgage on the facility in Syracuse. So just for some added content here, we'll go outside and we'll look at the exterior of the mall from this side of the facility. There's the entrance to Planet Fitness right over there. And yep, there's, I believe that's the entrance to Sears down that way. Facade's looking a little gray and dirty in places. And you've got Interstate 86, or as it's better known to locals, Route 17 down there. And I'm guessing that used to be a different department store at some point, but it looks like it's just got some kind of temporary store in it. And there's your Arnot sign with the letter A falling off. Quite a bit of water damage to the exterior of the facade here. Paint peeling, water dripping. So yeah, all in all, the mall's not in terrible shape. It's just, you know, kind of in the same predicament that most American malls are, struggling to keep tenants and find new ones. But yeah, overall, the mall's not in too bad a shape. Like I was saying, you know, hopefully they can redevelop some of these spaces into things beyond shopping. Or better yet, help America's housing crisis and maybe, you know, like I said, tear down one of the anchor stores and build some housing. Well, thanks for joining us for our look around the Arnot Mall. I got my soda, and I'm going to drive back to Binghamton where I belong.